Yeah, we still got a lot of work to go. So I got these tail lights and I want to kind of match them up with the rest of the truck. Since the truck's going to be blue, I've got some spray that I'm going to tint these tail lights. I'm going to make them darker. So it's going to match kind of like the front turn signal lights, and it's also going to match the other lights on the front of the truck. I'm going to be using 2500 grit. This is really fine, so I can't do it too much. I don't want to, you know, get any marks on the plastic itself. Oh, come on, stupid plane. So theoretically, this should allow the paint to stick onto the plastic. So this is what I'm going to be using. It was recommended to me from a parts store, and so I'm going to try to use it. And this is totally illegal, but on the instructions it says do not exceed the 3 coats or the light may not be visible. So it's legal to some extent. Stuff is very thin, so I gotta be very careful because there will be runs that will form easily on these. Almost forgot to tape up the backup lights. I want those suckers to stay the same. Alright, so while that's over there drying for the first coat, we're going to take these Mother's polishing stuff and we're going to polish this chrome over here. I'm going to try to get it nice and clean because as you can see, if you go look a little closer, it's really dirty. I wonder if that'd clean up pretty nice. It worked pretty well on these tires. I'm hoping to do pretty well on here too. So I just finished doing the 3rd coat on this tail light and it looks good, especially when you hold it up to the paint. And I think it's going to look really good once we get it on the truck and have the truck painted the rest of the way. And we went ahead and skipped out on the backup light. We still want it to be legal. This is the before and this is the after. Alright, so in the last episode we got this side of the bed ready to be primered. We still got to do some sanding and we got to do some work still, but it's still going to turn out pretty well, I believe. So we have to still do the other side, so let's go and check it out. Alright, this side's now ready for some body filler. We got all the dents out that we could. It's pretty much straight, so let's get into doing that as well. And I believe that we will be able to shape the body line and the body panels all perfectly with the Bondo. Dang. It is dirty on the inside. Alright, so we just finally got this piece welded in there. It was all rusted out, but we still got to kind of get all these holes and indentions all cleaned up. It still needs to be hit in a little bit, but overall, it should work pretty well. Alright, so now it's time to sand the bed of the truck. We finally got this thing all fixed up with some of the body filler, but now we need to get it all smoothed out before we could do anything else. So I started out using 80 grit sandpaper, then I switched to 120 grit. Also used a round tube to get on curved surfaces evenly, and it worked out pretty well. Alright, so I'm going to start working on the hood of the truck. We need to get all the paint off and see what damage it has on the front, because we know that there's a ton of Bondo and body filler probably hiding something. I don't know if it's rusted out. Alright, so we got about half of the hood done. It's actually looking pretty good. There's a few dents, namely like right there, right there, right there. So other than that, I mean, this hood is actually pretty solid. And then, of course, it got some rust holes right here as well. So I finally finished getting all the paint off the hood, and actually it wasn't too bad. I think it took only about maybe an hour and a half, but I found some more dents in areas around the hood, and this side ain't too bad. I think there's only like a couple dents, but it's as solid as the other side. Now I didn't get the paint off the front right here, mainly because we're gonna have to cut that off, get all the rust holes out of it, and weld on the new piece. And it's straight, not tacoed either. Gonna have to sand in this area, get it nice and smooth. We got a little bit of body work to go on this thing. Alright, so I'm just gonna mention this real quick. I'm going to test a little bit. I'm gonna get these new chrome pieces offline, and they're gonna be like $60. So I'm going to experiment with these old ones, because these don't look good with all the kind of rivets and, you know, holes all on them from like rust or whatever. But I'm going to try painting these black, and if they look good, I'm going to do it on the brand new ones. And I'm going to switch out these headlights for dark LED headlights. So that's going to look pretty cool as well. So I basically sanded it down just a little bit on the inside, taped around the edges, and we just made it black up to here. So this is all going to be chrome over here. So that should hopefully look pretty good. And I'm going to see what it looks like with the original headlights before I order some new ones. Alright, so I got the black painted around the headlight, and it brings out the chrome, in my opinion, a whole lot better than over here on this side. As you can see, the chrome kind of matches up with the silver, but it really looks good from the further away perspective. And look at that. So this side looks a whole lot better in my opinion than that side. The chrome, it just comes out a whole lot better, and the glossy black makes it look like it's really shiny, so I like it. And then I think it'll look even better once we get darker headlights in, like LED black headlights. I believe those will look pretty good. Alright, so I just got some brand new headlight doors, and I'm kind of a little disappointed at the quality. These are plastic. I paid $77 for two of them, the passenger and the driver's side. However, the OEM is actually metal. These were too expensive just for cheap plastic. All right, so we finally got the LED headlights in the mail. So now it's time to install them. We're gonna have to do some wiring just to get the headlights to work. I think that they are gonna look better than the original OEM, because the OEM just doesn't go really well with the chrome and the black, and it's not as bright as I would want them to be. So that's why I'm replacing them. And there you go. That's both the headlights in. He's finishing up the wiring over there. But overall, this looks actually really well. Yeah, I'm ready. Yo, that looks awesome. It's not really showing up that good on camera because it's white. But in person, that's crazy. Yeah, that's cool. He's going to turn the headlights on now. Yo, that's actually pretty cool. What does it look like with the brights on? That's awesome. Yeah, it turns amber. Does it go blue to amber? Yeah, blue to amber. Really? Yeah. That's pretty cool too. I smell rubber burning. It just sways too much though to do anything. Dang. Got a brand new paint booth coming in. I don't know how to put this thing together at all. Dang, this is gonna be huge. Yeah. What else we got?
These are all threes. All these.
Those are threes too. This is a 3 as well. Dude, this is huge. Look at that. Nice paint booth so far. We need to get the siding on, and then the doors, well, the cutouts. I think there's going to be one either here or here where we get the vehicle in. All right, we finally got the paint booth all set up. We got all the walls in. We got the doors all rolled up, and now it's time to actually get the truck in here and see if it'll fit. She fits. We got enough room to work though. That gives us plenty of space to walk in between. Alright, so the hood is all sanded down and ready to be primered. We gotta clean it up first and make sure that there's no grease or dust left on it before we spray. And then we're gonna have to wet sand and get everything ready for the actual paint itself. So while we wait for the primer on the hood to dry, we're gonna go and get the bed ready to be painted. So I'll have to go to my grandparents' house to get the horses. So let's go ahead and do that. Got the 2 horses right here, the wooden ones, and then we got the plastic ones in the back. Finally got the bed onto these horses, and so now we're going to be taking off the tailgate and cleaning up all the leftover parts that have paint on it. We got to clean this side off and get everything ready to be primered. We also have to get the surface rust off after it's been sitting outside for a while. We finally got the bed primered, the exterior of it, but it looks pretty good. There's a few imperfections everywhere, but we got the filler primer. We laid it on pretty thick, and so we're gonna sand it down and hopefully get most of the imperfections out. But there's some areas that we're gonna have to end up redoing with body filler. Like we need to sharpen this line up. Yeah, we need to fix this body line right here as well. Yeah, it needs to be sharper because it's kind of dull. And then need to fix it down here a little bit too. But overall, I mean, it looks really good. Especially the front. We had to use some wax and degreaser to get all the oil and stuff off the bottom right there. And it turned out a whole lot better than I was expecting. It's so smooth and it stuck pretty well. We also got this new air compressor we've been working on. We're trying to get extra air so the old air compressor would stop overheating, and so we could spray for longer. Now we need to get it blocked, and we're gonna be using this sandpaper, of course, with the block. We're gonna sand it down, see if there's any imperfections that we might have missed. regular paint gun from Harbor Freight. We got some of these kits as well with disposable cups for $11. New gauge. New thing. We're now mixing up the sealer primer, or the sealing primer. We're gonna lay that on there first before we do the paint.
Just that, probably 3.
Oh yeah? We just finished putting the first coat onto the bed of the truck, and it looks pretty good. But of course, there's a few spots where it's kind of heavy on the paint and lighter on the others. But we're gonna do a second coat and hopefully fix all that up. Right now, he's cleaning the paint gun so he could get it. Because the issue that we're having right now is that if you take a look at these test sprays, it is really heavy at the bottom right there and really light at the top. We don't know what's causing it, so we might have to try to clean the gun and see if that'll help. Because as you can see, it's like really thick and dark at the bottom, but really, really fine at the top. All right, so it's been a couple of days since we painted the bed of the truck, and now it's completely dry. And we have to actually get it onto the chassis of the truck. But I went ahead and ordered some LED tail lights, the red for the brake lights, blinkers, and white for the backup lights, because I darkened the tail light covers, so I wanted to get something that would brighten everything up. So let's install. So I'm guessing that this one is actually the brake lights, because it has 2 pegs on the inside like it does on the outside. So I'm going to install this. Now with the taillights installed and everything put together, the darker plastic really goes well with the blue paint. Only time to see if the paint matches. It matches. That looks pretty close. Let me see on this side. I got some good news for you. That's the same color. That's the same color. Dude, that's sick. That looks good. So this is the tailgate. It's one of the first things we ever finished on the truck, and so, but we never got around to wet sanding it. So we finally got finished wet sanding this thing. Now it's ready to be painted and sealed off. So now it's time to get the hood on. So we need to get the hinges and put them on before we bolt the hood onto the hinges. Of course, we sanded them down before this footage, but we went ahead and took some degreaser and cleaned up these hinges to get them ready to be painted. Then we went to the back and painted them. We went ahead and used the Rattle Can Rust-Oleum Black spray paint just to get that nice glossy coat. I believe that it matched the rest of the engine bay pretty nicely, especially with all the blue accents. And now it's time to be put onto the truck. We still need to paint under the hood, and we also need to clean up the hinges a little bit more and repaint in some areas. But this is just going to be temporary. Trying to get the body lines straight, or not body lines, but the gaps all nice. We lubed up the hinges a little bit. It's looking good on this side. Got the hood onto the truck. Now I think it looks amazing. The hinges, we lubricated them up with some silicone, and it works a whole lot better and so much smoother. But guys, just take a look at this. It looks awesome. It's getting dark outside, of course, but I think that just makes it look really cool. All right, I got these tailgate hinges. I'm going to primer them and paint them. I decided to go ahead and paint them black instead to match the color of the rest of the truck, because I think it'll look better, and I think it'll pop off on the tailgate that's painted blue, and it'll match with the bed liner. Take all this back off with the bed liner on.
We finally got the tailgate onto the truck, and the paint matches with the bed, which I'm super happy about because this paint is very transparent and actually hard to get thick to make it the same color. That's why we had to repaint the bed. It was too light, then we sanded it down, then we did another 2.5 coats, and now it matches the rest of the truck. The hood also makes the front look a whole lot better.
Well, guys, that's going to be it for today's video. We finally got the truck, the exterior finished as far as paint goes, but we still need to get the bed liner, and then we need to do the interior. We need to add a little bit of like chrome fender flares. Those would be cool. And we also need to finish underneath the hood and actually rebuild the engine. That's a whole nother story for a different video.